19 يوم والشعب اللبناني ناطر قرار بحل سياسي يوقف التدهور. اليوم ما بخفيكم وصلت لطريق مسدود. أنا طالع على قصر بعبدة لتقديم استقالة الحكومة.
Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad Hariri offered his resignation Tuesday, handing a major victory to anti-government protesters. The news was met with fury from Shia paramilitary groups led by Hezbollah. Shortly before Hariri went on television, they ransacked the protesters' camp. Police fired back with tear gas and bullets. The violence marked a potentially dangerous next stage after 2 weeks of demonstrations against corruption and a faltering economy. We followed one of the protesters in the days building up to Hariri's resignation.
It's basically 30 years of having the same people over and over and over again in the government, taxing us, lying to us to our faces, and taxing us more, and still no results whatsoever.
Larry Boussafi has been part of the movement since it began. We joined him last Friday.
We cannot have had 30 years of no electricity 24/7, no water 24/7. Garbage crisis has emerged, and there aren't even alternatives for recycling by the government. Honestly, we needed to have this long time ago.
The demonstration started when the government said it would raise funds by taxing calls on WhatsApp. But within a few days, it morphed into a much larger movement. Remarkably, Lebanon's government, which can hardly agree on anything, quickly offered a slate of reforms, including cutting the salaries of officials by half. But for people like Boussafi, that wasn't enough. The Lebanese economy has been in free fall for years, and the influx of more than 1 million Syrian refugees, now about a quarter of the country's population, has only added to the strain. Meanwhile, the country's elite commandeered the vast majority of Lebanon's wealth.
We want the government to resign. We want the stolen money to be brought back, and we want accountability for all the people who made this happen.
The government and the protesters seemed to be locked in a stalemate. This was partly due to Hassan Nasrallah, the influential leader of Hezbollah in Lebanon's Shia community.
Basically, he's saying that there's no resignation of the government, that Hezbollah is kind of opposed to the demands of the people, and they are planning on working on the reform that was proposed by the government.
Nasrallah worries that upheaval in the government, including reshuffling the Lebanese cabinet, could weaken the group's autonomy. After Nasrallah spoke, his supporters made sure that message was heard.
Okay?
Yes, how are you enter?
That's good. Have you seen Yasmin and them? They're in there. We all got our ass beat. They broke my phone.
They started like throwing rocks at us and chairs and bottles of water and sticks and whatever they could grab to throw at our way so that they could start a fight. But we were strong, we were peaceful, we resisted all this, and we let really the army and Quwwat Aman deal with them.
Boussafi decided it'd be safer to head home. But over the weekend, he was back, and so were the crowds.
I'm ecstatic at the sight of people, everyone in the streets. This is everything I will ever dreamt of, to be honest. We have specific demands and we're not accepting any negotiations. For once, there is no leadership to this protest, but to this revolution, because we do not need leaders. The people is leading. It's amazing to see all these people. It's heartwarming, to be honest.